All right, guys, just like that, I'm back with another Portable Clint. All right, guys, I have somebody here who's been on my radar since day one. She is one of the funniest girls I've ever met. She volunteers, which is also another reason why she works a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Makinson. Whoa, look at this.
Hello.
Look at her. Look
I
at you.
just got here.
You did.
I glided right
Wow,
into the seat.
wow. Jessica, thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
You're look at you. Look, the camera loves you. That's the reason why you always work. Yes. All right, Jessica.
It's early. Let me preface this. It's very early.
It is. It is. For us, it is early.
It is early.
Okay. So, you ready to do this?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to go back in time.
Okay.
Let's go back in time to when you started thinking about moving out here and why you wanted to move out here.
I knew I wanted to move here probably in junior high or high school.
Junior high and high school. Where was this? Where were you from?
Arizona, so right next door.
Okay.
And
we're in California
right now.
California.
We would take trips to LA to see theater, to see comedy.
Who's we?
The theater department, the drama department.
Okay. I didn't know if you were hanging out with the Osmonds or something.
Okay. The Osmonds and I,
okay.
we took little day trips.
Okay.
No, so the theater department would take these trips on spring break to come look at theater and, shows at the Makinson and shows downtown, and then we'd see some comedy, like some groundling shows, and we just thought that was the bee's knees. That was everything. So by the time I got into college, I went to Arizona State University. Very prestigious.
Okay. Okay.
Did a lot of comedy there too. And
when did you know you were funny? Like when you grew up, were you cracking people up? Like when did you know, man, okay, I can make people laugh here?
Well, I was an only child, so I had spent a lot of time by myself.
Okay.
And I think there was, the first thing I said I wanted to be was Joan Rivers and Vanna White.
Oh, those are okay.
So like a combo platter of Joan Rivers and Vanna White.
I think that's kind of working out for you. I do. I mean, I can totally see that. Okay, go ahead.
I haven't done any hosting.
Well, the day is young.
Or, is what Vanna does hosting?
I don't know what she. That's a good question.
What is what she does?
That is true. And she turns. She's a turner. Okay.
So, yeah, comedy, and that's sort of what drew me here. I knew I was going to come here.
You knew?
I knew.
Okay, I like that, because I knew.
You did.
I knew. Yeah. This is the only thing that I ever thought of, the only thing I ever looked at, the only thing that ever interested me. I mean, seriously, that was it.
It's nice to know that, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very nice to know and to have the clarity.
That is true.
That. You don't have to debate, like, did I make the right move?
I've never second guessed it. You never second guessed it, right?
And I don't think that this town suits you if you are going to second guess it.
Amen, sister. Okay, so tell me when you started thinking about, all right, I'm gonna start loading the car up. Like tell me about that.
Because you knew that's part of it.
Yeah.
Load the car
yeah,
up.
you gotta load the car up.
I had graduated and sort of like had the freak out moment, like maybe I'll go to grad school first and then I'll do it. Like grad school's gonna save you. And that lasted about a month before I was like, no, I'm gonna sell this furniture.
Okay, good, yeah. Burn the ship.
I sold some furniture. I loaded the rest up in the back of my 93 Ford Ranger.
Okay, that's a pickup truck.
It's a pickup truck.
Look at you.
Oh,
but I guess that's an Arizona thing.
I miss that car so much. I mean, it's not a car, it's a truck.
Yeah.
I miss it every day.
That's a good one. I'm proud of you for driving a truck.
They don't make hybrid trucks.
They don't?
No, not
yet. Okay.
But they will.
They will. We'll get to that at a different time.
If they did, I would have one.
Okay, there you go. Okay, all right, we got that covered. So now, you load up the car.
And load up the truck.
How old are you?
Oh, I don't remember. 21?
Okay, 21 years old. You drive out here. Do you know anyone out here?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
You got excited about that question.
I did. My friend and dear friend, John Kimmel.
Is that Jimmy's brother?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
I was joking.
Oh, yeah, no, he's a wonderful guy. We went to the same junior high school, and college.
Okay.
And he was here, and he was working on, he had already met up and was starting to work with Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Okay, because that was going to be another question I got for you. So just remember those names.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about you out there. Remember those names. Who did you?
Put a pin in it.
Yes, okay.
He was working as a writer on the show That's My Bush for Comedy Central.
Okay.
Which was, at the time, very controversial.
I don't know why. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, not only, it was because of the election. They didn't know who, it was drawn, the election had been drawn out into, is it going to be Gore, is it going to be Bush? So they had two different story point. They had two completely different shows waiting on the election to see what show they were going to make. Okay. So John had arranged for me to have some audition for the show, and so I had met the casting directors, and I had that, brand new to LA arrogance.
Okay, I was going to say, how many months is this? Okay, so as soon as you get there, how long ago did this happen?
This was right before, I actually made a trip right before I moved. So this was before I even lived in LA.
All right.
The show was reconfigured anyway. I was lucky enough. They said, like, the first week I had moved to LA, I got a call from John, and he said, or from casting, I can't remember who called me. Basically, I had a guest star spot on That's My Bush the first week that I lived in LA. So I was on the Sony lot. I had my own trailer.
Oh, wow,
and I was
man.
Like, I could do this.
Yeah.
This is working out so far. And then, of course, it was another, 2 years of waiting tables before I got to stop.
So that's going to be my question. So you did that first job, and then 2 years after that, you really waited on tables? Where were you a waitress?
Highland Grounds. I'll give you bonus points if you remember.
I do remember. That's the reason why I'm racking my brain. I've seen that. Where was that?
It was on Highland in Melrose. It was owned by the people who own Hugo's and Hugo's Tacos.
Okay.
Rich Brenner.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
They gave me my first, my first and only waiting tables job, really, in LA, and I got that through my friend Heidi Solzman, who's another wonderful, really gifted actor. She like, hey, you want a job? It was another thing. It was just like a charmed time. She was like, do you want a job? I was like, yes, I do want a job. So I got a job, and I was terrible. I was a terrible server until I wasn't. And then...
Do you think you're supposed to be terrible because that's not what you were supposed to be doing?
I think it's because...
Or you just didn't know what you were doing?
I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Okay. Easy with the language. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll have to watch myself.
No, I'm kidding. You can say whatever.
I forgot what I was saying.
You were saying...
It doesn't matter because it's stuff I blocked out. I was terrible at it. I'd come from a corporate environment, corporate retail, not corporate.
Okay,
I worked at the Gap for 4 years, so I was used to rules. This is what you do. This is what you wear. This is how you do it, and it's clear. And at Highland Ground, it was this place has an open mic night, and you have to buy something, and there's a minimum. You have to force these artists to buy a tea.
There's a lot of rules there when you're working.
It was different depending. It was just very LA, figure it out.
Okay.
Not here are the rules.
Let's get out of that job.
That bleak time.
Yeah, let's get out of there. Tell me about your first big job after that. What got you out of that bleak time?
I booked a series.
Is this Halfway House?
No.
Okay, that's my favorite. That's when you got on my radar, so I jumped the gun. Yes, that's when I first wait a second, this girl is really funny.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but go ahead.
This was Trigger Happy TV in 2003.
Is that one of those hidden camera shows?
Yes, it was a hidden camera sketch show for Comedy Central. And it was like out in a place like this, like the farmer's market. It was a hidden camera sketch show. So I'm doing some goofy thing, and all we need from the passerby would be like a look, and you're like, great, we got it. Please, let's move on. But we traveled all around the U.S. to get the footage. So it was like a lot of time in Florida and a lot of time in Seattle and Vegas and traveling all over. I learned so much from that first job.
Was that the time of your life? Because to me, that sounds like the best job ever to have. Travel the country doing this. Was it the best?
It was not the best.
Okay. All right. Well,
traveling can be really lonely, especially like when the people you're meeting up with in the like Hollywood, Florida, is a local PA, and you're like, let me explain this again, how the clearance works. Like, please don't let that woman walk away. That was the best thing we did all day. Grab her.
Okay.
And because I was green, I got a really low rate per episode. And we shot for so long, it was like a per episode rate that stretched out over months and months. I was basically making the same amount of money I made as a server.
Okay, all right.
So, like,
and there's no residuals on this, so
I've never seen, I will never see a residual. I mean, it was completely union, but I haven't ever seen, I don't know if they're still airing it, but...
I cut you off. It was the best time and the worst of time. Is that what you were going to say?
No, it wasn't great.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to say it was
I'm going
to
put an asterisk by that then.
It was great because it felt like I had done it. I had done it.
Okay, all right, okay. Then the next one, Comedy Central's been really good to you over the years.
That's right. They've been a real home for me. They're great.
What's your next big booking?
After that?
Yes.
Joe Schmo 2.
Oh, you were great. See, wait a second then. Then that's how I knew you, and then I saw you get the other show. Okay. Joe Schmo, I loved it. Because that was the time where all the reality TV was gigantic, but you guys were the first one to come in there and just turn it upside down because it was all staged. Mm-hmm. Everybody was in on the joke except for one person.
Yeah, one guy thinks he's on a reality show and everybody else is an improviser.
But he has no idea.
He has no idea. Or, he has no idea, and then he starts to like get what, there's a couple moments you're like, oh, now we gotta work against his suspicion, and it was basically like camp for improvisers.
Yeah, you guys were great on that. I loved it.
I met some really lovely people on that show. That was a very short shoot, but it was like the time of our lives.
Okay.
That was fun.
Now can we get to that show that I loved you on, Halfway House? Did it come after that?
Chronologically, I guess it came after that. That was like 2005 and 6 when we started shooting that.
Okay. All right. So Jessica, you said some names at the very beginning that you met Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about that. When you met them, what were they doing?
Well, they were doing That's My Bush in South Park.
Okay,
so
but
what were they doing?
I guess,
like, what was the environment?
No, not the environment. But did you know that they would be hiring you throughout the years to do that?
Yeah, when I met them, they're like, "Get ready, we're gonna hire you."
No, come on. What did they say, Jessica?
They didn't say anything. They said, "Hey, what's up?"
I know, but did you know? But did you know that they were going to be hooking you up with work?
They have been very gracious to me and like kept bringing me back for projects and stuff that they do, and it's a blast. I think more than anything, it's like a vibe thing.
Yeah.
Like they know that I'm not nuts, and they know that like I can do it the way they want it done, and if I'm not doing it the way they want it done, that I'm easy to direct, and that for them anyway. It's like it's sometimes with those like auteur people, it's a vibe thing.
Yeah, okay. I guess here's what it is. I'm going to bottom line it. I'm really impressed with that show. I don't watch it all the time, but I've been watching it for the past couple of seasons, and I love it. because
You've been watching the past couple?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And what I love about it is that it's an animated show, but they do relevant info. Like last week's news is on there.
Yeah.
And that's not hard, and that's hard to do.
It's hard to do because the animation for most shows takes a very long time
Yeah,
to
so
do, but in this case they've got it down to such a science, and those animators on South Park are brilliant and fast, and they work so hard when they're in production. I don't know if anybody's seen the documentary that they did, but it's fascinating to see how they crank for several months, and they're there till, they're there sometimes all night on Tuesday night to get the show out for Wednesday.
All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull over and go this other direction for a second.
Okay.
Commercials.
Oh no.
When did you book your first commercial out here?
2004, I think it was.
2004, and
It took me a couple of years of auditioning for commercials before I figured out the trick.
I don't know if you guys know this, and you guys will soon know this, but she's one of the biggest commercial bookers in the business. You. How many commercials have you booked? Do you know your number?
Over 70. Which is not the most I've heard of.
Okay, but see, the thing is about your 70 is that your 70 is high-profile commercials. I mean, you're always on TV, right? Am I right about that? Do you have a commercial? Do you have any holding fees right now for a commercial?
Yes.
So, you've done 70. What do you
Yes.
got on this? What do you have on this? Did I cut you off?
No, I think there's a holding for DSW with Mindy Kaling.
Okay.
Kaling?
Sure, yeah, that's...
Kaling.
Okay.
Mindy Kaling.
So...
She was lovely. She's lovely.
She is lovely. I say that because I worked with her one time.
Oh yeah,
So-
she was gracious and lovely and fun, and it was directed by Neil Brennan. That was a fun.
Easy with the
fun
names,
shoot.
okay?
No, I mean.
No, I'm
know,
kidding.
It's not often you're like, this person was fun to work with,
No.
and the director was fun.
Right. Jessica.
You asked.
No, I was only kidding. Jessica, has there been dark times for you in Hollywood?
Dark time.
And I'm saying, and all this is business related. I'm not talking about anything personal. This is all business related.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in the business long enough, everything will happen to you.
I know, but see, the thing is, the reason why I'm asking is because you've always worked. Is that true? Since you got here, you've always worked, besides those first 2 years?
Yeah, that's how I've made my living since I started working, which is incredible and great, but everyone's always striving for more or something different. Everyone's always striving for that next thing, like what's the next step for you?
Okay, but has business ever thrown you so many curveballs at one time where you said, you know what, I know this is what I was always supposed to do, but I don't want to do it anymore? And really thought about moving away and doing something different? Never?
I mean, flirted with that idea for just a fleeting second when you're like, wait, I don't need this. I'm moving to Utah and I'm gonna make soap. I don't know how to do that, but everybody's got an escape hatch idea. Because when you know this is where you want to be, Clint, maybe you can relate to this, is that then it becomes like an obligation. And you're like, oh, I'm so married to this place that everybody else gets to give up and move, give up and move away. Not that it's giving up, but you know what I'm saying. It's so hard to live here sometimes.
Yes, it is.
It's hard to park. It's hard to pay for it. It's hard to, it's like
yes.
Having a simpler life appeals to you more as you age, I think. And but we're always like, okay, now I did that, I've done that, or I've done commercials, I know what that is, I know what the satisfaction, how much satisfaction that brings me or doesn't bring me, and now I want something different, or I want something more, or now I want to be writing, and now I want to direct.
Have you ever thought when you're on a set, you leave home that day, you go, wow, I was really in my mind too much, I didn't have fun on the set today like I used to?
Yeah, sometimes it's like you. There was a while where I was doing things that were very difficult.
Yeah.
It was like a very difficult, like you have to lay on the floor for 5 days in a row in this position, and they're doing like stop motion animation, and your body's killing you, and you're like, why am I? This better be worth it.
Right.
Yeah, it becomes less and less. It has for me become less satisfying overall, but I keep doing it because it is fun to feel good at stuff.
Amen to that. Yes.
It's fun to feel proficient, like, oh, I know exactly how to do this, and actually you'd be smart to hire me because I know how to do it.
Right. Jessica, you said something. I'm going to go back. You said that we get to see other people move away from here to go get a nice, simpler life. And I do get mad that, why do they get to go do that? Why do they get to move there? Why am I having to do this? Yeah. So it's funny you say that, because I felt that way a time or two in this business.
Yeah. Why do they get to
go find happiness
in a big home?
Yeah, in a big home.
They own.
Yeah, they can eat a meal and not feel bad that they charged it. I don't.
Oh God, no. I don't know. I do feel like there's a freedom to that, but then I think about, and when I visit other cities, I always imagine placing myself there, and I'm like, would I be satisfied with that? Knowing now what I know, like this is, I don't know. I could change. I could make like maybe that's a retirement thing.
Yeah.
Maybe when you retire, you're like, okay, you know what? Where is it nice?
I heard somebody say this the other day. Jessica, what would you tell the Jessica that moved out here at 21? What would you wish that you would have told her? What do you wish you could tell her?
Drink less.
Drink less.
Start making stuff now. Start creating things now. Shoot stuff, make stuff, just make more stuff.
That's the whole deal to Hollywood right now. If you're just out here being an actor and just waiting for the phone to ring,
you're not. Then you won't have a career.
You won't. Those days are gone.
Those days are gone. And when we got here, well, you got here long before I did. When did you?
87.
87.
Yeah, 33 years.
That's a long time. And when you got here, the roles were delineated. You weren't supposed to do everything. It was kind of looked down. It was frowned upon if you were trying to do, like, supposed to be like stay in your lane. Exactly.
Now, you were absolutely right. Now you better be in every lane.
You better be in every lane. And if you don't know how to edit, you're fucked. So I would tell myself to learn how to edit.
And you're talking about computer edit, not edit what you say in life, right? Okay.
Because I can't do that.
See, I can't do that either, man. I mess up on that a lot.
All over my face.
And me too. Yeah, same here. Jessica, what's the worst day in Hollywood you've ever? What's the worst day in Hollywood? And again, business related.
I don't know. I guess the worst day is when you're like, oh, when you feel like, I know that job was mine. I was on hold for it. They strung me along. I gave up other jobs or opportunities for that hold.
Yes.
And then they released the hold. And you're like, I was told by every person, every feeling I had that was going to happen, and then it doesn't.
And that just didn't happen just one time, has it?
No. That's why I wasn't specific.
Right,
It happens all the time, and yet at the same time, some of the best days are when you're like, ooh, that person got fired and they hired me instead.
I know.
Everybody's got those stories. You've got the stories where it doesn't go your way. You've got the stories where it does go your way. You just have to be resilient enough and have enough irons in the fire where if that thing doesn't happen, you're not left. That's a good lesson for life in general. Like if that friendship, something happens with it, or that person moves away or something, I've got other ways of coping.
Yes.
I've got other things to focus on, and I'm not left without.
You're absolutely right. Okay, I know you kind of said a good day is getting somebody's job that they got fired from, but besides that, Jessica, listen to me. Okay, Jessica, the best day in Hollywood. What was the best day? The
best day. I don't know what the best day was.
I didn't know. Is there?
Best day was the show when you're like, oh, they picked up the series.
Those are good days, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. But have you been?
Where you're like, oh, they picked up the series. That's, or actually, I mean, several years ago, I pitched a pilot to Comedy Central, and they bought a script. So that day was pretty great. That was good because there was expansion and there was growth to that idea. Like, now I'm doing this.
Okay. Last time you woke up at 3 o'clock worried about something, about the business, what was it? Have you woken up at 3 o'clock lately?
Oh yeah. But it's not business related necessarily. It's like, can I still do this? I think that's the question. Can I still do this? Can I keep doing this? Can I, like, that's the worry, is like you're always having to reinvent. You're always having to like go again, like start again.
Yes.
All the momentum or all the things that you've done or had, or it just all of a sudden feels like it cashes out and you have to start at zero.
I mean, we have to do that nonstop. It's like singing the Frank Sinatra song all the time. I pick myself up and I get back in the race because we get kicked so many times.
Yeah, but even if you're not getting kicked, it's a, after enough time passes or something happens, it's like the relevance of what's going on. I guess it's a self value thing. You're like, you know what, all these experiences, maybe no one else values it, but it's amounted to my ability and my level of experience, and I do have stuff to offer, and new stuff comes up all the time. That's the positive spin on it.
That is the positive spin.
You forget that every day somebody calls you and somebody's like, come do this with me, or I want you to come, and you're like, I forget that great stuff happens all the time, and it comes out of nowhere, and a friend invites you to do something.
Well, that's okay. That's another thing. I'm going to say this. We're going to start winding down here in the next 5 minutes. We're not done yet. But we're just going to start winding down. But before we wind down, I want to get something in very important. You do a lot of improv.
Mm-hmm.
So you're constantly out and about doing it. You've never like gone, all right, I've done so much work, I'm not going to improvise anymore. You are always out there. So when you are out there, you're hanging out with other creative people. That's when you meet new creative people and they go, oh, Jessica, will you come be a part of this?
That's right.
Because if you're not putting yourself out there, you're not going to meet new people to say, hey, come do this.
That's right. It's easy if you started a long time ago. I feel like we met at iOS.
We did. I'm sure.
Like
yeah, we
that's
did.
where
We did. Yeah, we did.
Somehow, but you meet those people and you come up with them, and those are the people you take class with, and those are your peers that will affect your life and your career. And hopefully, I mean, if you got in at the right time with the right people, you at least met a couple folks who are like still there with you, and you're like, you know what, I call them in for this, or you know what, they call me in for that, or they were responsible for my first manager, and I'll always love them for that.
Yeah.
But then if you can't stop, like my ego got in the way for a long time. Like I'm not starting over at level 1 anywhere. Are you kidding? And then it was like, yes I am.
That's
because
so smart.
I want to meet people.
Yes.
And I want to, like, if you think you can't learn, then you're super wrong, and you have a block up. Like just go in and learn and play and meet people and start some fresh energy.
I mean, Jessica, I always see you're like all over the world doing improvising.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, it's taking you all over the world. Okay, Jessica, what is it that you want in Hollywood? What do you want? What did you want when you moved out here, and what is it that you want now? When you moved out here, what did you want to obtain?
Well, when I moved out here, I just wanted to be a working actor. I thought, I don't need to, I didn't have any aspirations of fame or
You didn't?
It was just I wanted to work as an actor, and I wanted to be a working actor.
I wish I would have started that
my
way.
whole career. I just wanted to have a whole career, and I wanted to be able to do that without having to rely on other sources of it. And that I have, and I guess I've done that. So I need
You
to
have
feel
done
like
that.
I have done that.
You totally accomplished that.
But-
See, I started out, I want to be big and famous, and then I've been a disappointment to myself for 33 years.
But if your goals were
Right.
to have a career and a happy family and a nice life,
Amen. You're right. You're right.
you
you're
would
right.
have checked that box a long
Okay.
time ago. He's
Thank
got
you.
the most beautiful family.
Thank you. Thank
Your
you.
daughters are so lovely and special.
Thank you.
I adore them, and I feel lucky to know your wife and your children.
Well, let me say this. I'm going to say this. I say this all the time, guys. Jessica, she volunteers a lot. And as my wife has always pointed out, people who volunteer always work. Have you noticed that?
I haven't noticed that directly. I think a lot of it, I think it makes for a sane person.
Yeah.
I think volunteering is so important. You can do something that gets you out of your head and out of just caring about yourself. Self-importance is so tiresome.
Yeah.
The work that Leslie does at the Art of Elysium is so important and so cool. And if any actors are looking for an opportunity just to get outside of yourself, to do something else for children, and if you're feeling depressed, here's another thing. If you're feeling depressed about the state of the world, do something to put some kind of positivity back in the world, and there's no better way to do that than through working with kids. Art of Elysium does amazing opportunities doing improv games and art and music and just being with kids. It's
At the children's hospital. It's not like
children's
you have to
hospital.
go to a special place. I mean, it's all there. And I'm not trying to sell anything,
I
but she's
am.
right.
I am.
No, I'm glad
I
you
wanna
are.
sell them all.
I'm glad you are. I just don't want,
yeah.
But so that's why you work, I feel. I mean, well, A, you're funny. But I'm just thinking.
That's first.
That's first. That is
I'm
first.
so glad that's first.
Well,
Thank
I
you
know.
for saying
You're
that's
welcome. But
first.
you are seriously one of the funniest girls I've ever met in my life.
No,
You are
that's-
seriously funny. One of the funniest girl I know.
You wouldn't know from this interview.
Yeah, I know. Yes, you do. All right. What is it you want now? This is my last question. What is it you want now? Don't say to continue working, please.
I won't.
Okay. Just everyone says.
I will continue working, but I won't. Say
Okay,
that.
good.
I'm writing and developing shows and film and screenplays. I'm writing and pitching. And
Okay,
I
that's
would
like
to
5 things.
sell.
What's the one? I want the one thing.
Okay, the one thing I want to produce this screenplay that I wrote. I would love to see it made and move on in that towards that direction.
Jessica,
Yeah.
is there anything else I need to know about you?
There's stuff that you know
Okay.
that they probably don't know.
Okay.
We pitched a show together.
We did. Can I tell you something? That, because I've been doing this, Jessica, that's more on my radar now than ever before. I still want to do that one day. So just be prepared. Look,
What,
Clint,
that show?
The show that we talked about.
Great. We won't say what it is because we gotta keep it under our
but
hat.
Jessica, now that I'm doing something, that's all you want to do is start doing more things.
Yeah.
So I'm not done with that, and please don't be done with it
I'm
either.
not done with it.
Okay, all
It's a
right.
lovely idea. It's a wholesome idea.
Okay, it is a wholesome idea,
And
and
I
I think
think-
it's prime. I think it's more prime than ever before.
I do too.
All right, that's coming soon, guys. Jessica, this is it. This is the last favor I'm going to ask. Are you ready for the easiest favor?
Favor?
Yeah.
What?
Will you tell everybody bye out there?
Oh, bye.